What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast episode. I don't know. Storm, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How y'all doing?
All right, Andre.
Doing pretty decently.
Cool. So, first things first, before we get into our genre love, as it were, hold on, we got somebody joining. Shadow.
Hey.
What's going on, guys?
I don't know who this person is. We're missing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? Who is this? That's Shadow Cousin. Shadow Cousin dropped in, and you go fill in.
I didn't see y'all live on YouTube, so I didn't know what was going on. I guess you just started.
Yeah, we just started.
No. No.
We just started. So
we had an imposter join the chat.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
listening.
Pretty much. We kind of had that. Let me mute that because I don't think he wants to hear all that. So, I don't think he wants to hear all that. So first things first.
Y'all good.
Are we good? Okay. So first things first tonight, before we get into our genre love part deux, we're gonna go over a couple things that happened last week. If you caught me and Sandstorm did a react for Gamescom Night 1. Please go back, watch that vid. You'll find out that Jeff Keighley's still slapping world premieres on stuff that we already seen. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Well, first thing I want to talk about was the day before, Microsoft had a presentation. I don't know why they do this, but they had a presentation where they spent about an hour talking about stuff coming to Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, the only things I found interesting was the Microsoft simulator, flight simulator, but not the flight simulator. It's the Top Gun portion of the discussion. I thought that was interesting because the funny thing about it is, if you add in Top Gun, I want dogfights.
Yeah, right.
I'm not trying to just fly in the F-14 Tomcat. I want the dogfights.
Right.
So I was interested in that, and the other thing that I was interested in as well was the Halo stuff. Halo's been getting a lot of little flack lately, and I think it's unwarranted, to be honest, just because I'm like, I think people are I think people that it's hard to say like we should have
entitled.
A full game.
That's
now.
what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say now that we should have like full games at launch when these games have gotten to the point where they're so ginormous that you're obviously going to have a patch day one.
Right.
Obviously. And you should be used to this by now. We've had it for 2 straight generations where you have day one patches. It's just part of the game.
7th generation.
Yeah.
So at this point, honestly, you should be used to it. And 2, if they're not saying the stuff ain't coming, it's just coming later. They can't. Microsoft themselves cannot afford to have Halo not come out another holiday season.
They can't skip another holiday season.
They can't. So for people getting upset, I'm like, look, it's not like you're not getting the game. They're not charging you. You better be glad they ain't EA. They're not charging you.
Separate, yeah.
Because if it was EA, best believe y'all be getting charged for that.
Or Activision. Remember with that was it Modern Warfare remaster? We're gonna charge you for the remastered game and then charge you for the remastered DLC.
So I'm like, be happy they not charging you for this, and they're saying, hey, okay, look, we're not gonna delay because it was either release the campaign and some of the multiplayer or delay the whole game. They can't do that. They can't do that again. They just can't. I mean, and I understand both sides of it, and I understand the business side of it because they're like, look, we ain't got but like one real mascot, and we got to get them out.
I mean, they could amend that problem if they brought back Blinks and if they properly use Battletoads, but I don't know.
Or anything from the Rare catalog. But
it's not like they ain't doing Perfect Dark.
I mean, Fable.
Jet Force Gemini.
And I mean, to be honest with you, the multiplayer
Age of Empires, but go ahead.
They ain't ready to have that conversation.
No, they're not ready to have that. They're not ready to have that conversation. Nah.
The multiplayers, I'm I won't say necessarily bigger than the story, but I feel like a lot of people really engage more so in the multiplayer than they do in the single player. So if they have both of those done, or I say if they're at a point where they're like, okay, one of these got to get tackled first, which one are we going with? It was probably the smart idea to go with the multiplayer first and work on that, the online aspects and whatever you're going to have for seasons or what have you, then straight up tackle the single player, which most people either A, gonna pretend like they finished, or B, not gonna finish it all the way and do it slowly until that multiplayer comes around, and then that's where they're gonna jump on anyway. So,
can I just say something real quick? Can I address the elephant in the room?
Sure.
People don't complete games, and people definitely don't complete games on Legendary. I'm one of the few people that actually beat all of those Halo games for the most part on Legendary. And solo at that. So like it's difficult. You jump on all the time. You see people hopping on Halo 3, Halo 4, whatever, doing co-op to complete Legendary because they can't do it on their own. It's just the generation of gamers has transcended anything that even represents old school in any way, shape, or form. So it's not going to be. I don't even know why the focus would be on a campaign. To be honest with you, it should just be, hey, this is our free multiplayer. That's priority, like number one, because we know the majority of people are going to be playing this game for multiplayer. And if you want to stay for co-op, we'll kind of have that like as secondary or whatever. I know the reason why they're doing this is because they want to be able to sell you a $60-$70 game, like in a package or what have you. And that's the only reason why they're focusing on campaign so much. But that and all the backlash from the campaign video they released a year or two ago, I guess it was.
Yeah.
So they feel compelled to make that paramount. And I'm like, but you don't have to though. Like, this is the Call of Duty generation. They don't care about that. They're just like, where multiplayer at? Like, it's so many gamers that have never touched Call of Duty campaign at all. They just hop online and they get care packages and do whatever they do, and that's it.
Modern Warfare was actually pretty dope.
Yeah, Infinite Warfare had an excellent campaign. Nobody played it. Everybody just jumped online and said the online was trash, so they left the game alone.
I hate to have to be the one to break this to you, Shadow, but I resemble that remark. Now, I'm one of those people that actually love but I like lore and stuff. That's why when it comes to games like Halo and Metroid and stuff like that, I can tell you about the story, and people tell me I'm lying, but I tell you right where to go to find it.
Yeah, you got to beat the game on Legendary. You got to find all the skulls. You got to, do whatever you got to do.
I'm going back through Halo 5 just because I want to make sure I know the story before I go into. But I'm not going on Legendary because the hell with Legendary.
The end of Halo 5 is so good. Like I can replay just that over and over again.
How can you not love Spartan Luke Cage?
Basically,
he had his own Netflix show.
I have an answer for that though. The answer is simple. It's the same reason people didn't like Miles Morales over Peter Parker.
Like how?
Even though they're two separate characters with different.
Into the Spider-Verse was the best Marvel movie ever.
Into the Spider-Verse. When they walked into the Spider-Verse, that was like,
I've always liked the concept of having multiple characters that can fulfill the same role, but they do it differently. That's fine. But people tend to not want to move forward. But like, I'm fine with John, but yeah, I like having Spartan Locke as well. I like having the other character.
He will not be referred to in this podcast as Spartan Locke. He will be referred to as Spartan Luke Cage.
John, here's a shot to John. There you go. Appreciate you.
All right, but I'll kid aside. I did like what they showed, and look, Halo was going to be huge because they already talking about a free to play mode. They already got, because I'm saying they're putting a lot of stuff in there. So I'm not mad at them because I understand that. Unlike, some of these other companies, they don't have a lot of mascots they can work with. All they have is the one mascot.
And let's be honest, that one mascot has done them great.
Great, yeah. He that one mascot does numbers. To be honest, he does numbers now. He gonna move that needle.
Microsoft paid for Dead or Alive exclusivity too. I think they should continue that as well.
What they did at one time.
They did for the OG Xbox
and 360 though. They did
Oh yeah,
DOA
they did
3
do
and
360.
DOA 4.
Yeah, they did 360.
Oh yeah, that's
5
right.
and
You're right.
6.
You're right.
They didn't do that. But
That's
now they're trying to make man, you saw what they did with Dead or Alive. $93 was man.
Nah.
Not.
DOA 2 is still like the ultimate.
DOA 2
It
is
DOA
the
2
best.
ultimate.
DOA 2 is the best game that they made gameplay wise. DOA 3 has the best videos in it though.
Yeah.
So they had the best. But I will say this: shout out to Dead or Alive Dimensions on 3DS because that game was fire. It don't get enough love.
With Nintendo costumes,
and having Ridley show up to save my behind during the match because I was losing. So there's that. So Gamescom night 1. Short story is Jeff Keighley. Will you please stop slapping world premiere on stuff that we?
No, he was so happy. He was so happy. Y'all ain't never seen this before. World premiere. Watch this.
But you have.
Yeah, like, man,
they were like world premiere Halo Infinite. What?
Like we just what the hell? And not to mention the stuff they showed, Microsoft had just showed the day before.
Mm-hmm.
World premiere though. So I'm like, okay, man. All right.
Who's gonna get the Forza controller though? That thing looked like a Splatoon. It looked like a Splatoon controller.
That thing sold out, didn't it?
Yeah, I was looking on Facebook and Miss K was talking about she was gonna get one. I can't blame you though. I got
it looked clean.
Y'all know me. I got like 7 controllers.
I only saw the Halo controller. I didn't get to see the Forza controller.
Imagine a Splatoon controller, but for Xbox.
For Xbox, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's that, and they had the Master Chief Elite controller, and they got the other Halo controller for Halo Infinite. Because even though they showed it with the Series X, they are selling that controller separate.
It'll be gone. It'll be gone.
They're already sold out. It's already.
But that Series X though, that Series X, it's got the blue light instead of the green in the middle. Like
that look clean.
That's different.
I would love to get it, but by the time because Samsung, when I was actually looking for it, when they said the pre-orders went live, it was already sold out.
While we were I can't spend $500 again. I'm not doing that.
I was just looking
that's a lot of bread.
I'm like, okay, this whole bot situation, they're gonna have to do something about that. They really gonna have to do something about that because it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous.
I still gotta pay like $600 for a PS4 digital. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't, but you're going to. You're going to if you want it. I mean,
it's either that or count target site like daily. That's the only way I can really do it.
And I ain't about to do all that. It's not that serious. So I'm just not about it. I'm not.
So eventually the scalpers will get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'm not about that life. So I'm not about that waiting life. I'm like, I'll just wait till people get tired. So
can I derail the podcast for a second? Because I know you didn't add it. But did you see the link that I was posting earlier about Traveler's Tales talking about Ratchet and Clank on PS5?
They called them out.
I didn't.
So before we start
saying what we already know,
but before Shadow pisses off everybody in the Sony and PC department, I'd like to say that the opinions of this podcast are totally.
I don't think it'll piss off PC gamers because they know this already. But
they already know.
Xbox and Sony fanboy.
Heck,
take it away now. I thought it was funny, but take it away.
So the creative director for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart already said, look, we had to dial that comment back when we talked about, hey, these jumping into different worlds in the middle of a game and whatnot is only because of the power of the SSD and the PS5. They had to dial that back a little bit because it wasn't that, it was the design of the game, which Mark Cerny already let y'all know when he talked about the demo for Spider-Man on PS5 almost 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So Traveler's Tales comes out. They're well-known third-party developer, and they come out and they say, hey, you know what we see in this game easily could have been done on even PS3. And that sounds kind of crazy, but the whole point is everything that you're seeing in that game is not happening on the SSD drive. It's happening in RAM. Mm-hmm. So all you have to do is partition off sections, and you're basically, and if you think about the little rifts that you go through, there's nothing really happening in them. They're kind of like straight away. And before you go into the rift or whatever, you're doing something that is mandatory. So you're not like in open world walking around doing whatever you want to do. You're either riding a bike in a straight direction, or you're grinding on a rail in a straight direction, and then you go into the rift. And now you see this different world or whatever that has a couple of different objects in it, but that's basically it. And then you go right back out into the world that you were playing. And like, they kind of examine that and they just say, yeah, that's what's happening. They're just partitioning different parts of RAM and saying, hey, this is for this part and this is for this part. And you just swap it between the two. And this is like, all that is DMA. DMA has been something that's been happening on the Super Nintendo. So you basically have two parts of RAM. You say, hey, look, we're going to allocate this memory space for this function, and we're going to allocate memory space for this function. Obviously, it's more complex now going forward because you're talking about objects, textures, and all kinds of stuff being stored in RAM, and then it just instantly grabs that stuff and processes it as soon as it decides to retrieve it. It's already there, just kind of waiting and staged in RAM, and then when it asks to flip, it flips, and then you go from there. But you need a staging for it too, because you got to copy from whatever storage you have or whatever partition of RAM you have, so you can just switch over to the active partition so people can see. And that's what happens when you go in between each quote unquote hidden load when you go from one rift to another. So when you go, you're in Rift Apart and you're fighting enemies or whatever, and then you jump, and all of a sudden you're in another little world or whatever, and you're jumping on rails or what have you, whatever, that you can't change what that ends up being once you jump into it. It's already preset. It was already loading while you were fighting the other enemies before you did the rift. So that's just one of those things where, again, it's memory management. And Mark certainly already said it wasn't about the SSD per se. He was trying to convince other developers, third-party developers, hey, we have this fast speed on this hard drive now on the memory bus. Y'all developers need to jump on board and start partitioning games the way that we do so you can do the things that we're doing. And he wasn't, I guess I feel like he should have been able to explain that more accurately all the way back in the beginning of the 8th generation, because that's what he was trying to do then for PS4. And if third-party developers still did what they did, you know what they do? They're like, hey, we got this large game world. It's going to take 12 minutes to load. So when you start our game and you hit the start button and you decide you want to go into a save, you wait for all that stuff to load. It takes like 2-3 minutes. You go make a sandwich, you come back, and now you got this giant world instead of everything being sectioned off in a good way. So it's kind of seamless to you. The same thing happened. Metroid Prime is a good example of all this. So everything's loading before you actually get to the door, or before you jump down the well, all that kind of stuff. It's just good game design. You section it off, and whenever you get close to another area, you start pre-staging that area. So when you jump down to go into the next area, it's already available to you. Same thing. It happens in God of War all the time as well. When you see those cutscenes where, oh, well, Kratos is doing this little thing, and he's climbing up here, it's loading the next stage in the background for you while it's doing all that. So it's nothing complicated. It's just that's how game design works. Like, you can't just have the entire world loaded all at one time unless you're Xenoblade Chronicles X, but that's a whole nother story. So it's just one of those things, and it's just interesting because Mark Cerner has been trying to tell developers this, and gamers didn't pick up on it because he was telling gamers too, like, hey, if other people do what we're doing in the Spider-Man demo, then you can have games that load instantaneously because we've already cached it to the SSD, we've cached it to RAM, and then we can switch pages back and forth to make it look instant. And I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world, but some people said, hey, well, it's impossible unless you have, until you take, like, you can get the lowest speed SSD, you still get the same effect. In some cases, you get faster speeds. If you get a slower SSD, you put it in the PS5. Like, there have been tests of this already. People have already done it. So
yeah, for some reason, Dragon Ball FighterZ still takes forever to load.
Because that's one of those things where, guess what? We're copying everything to RAM. We're not putting anything anywhere else. It's not going on the hard drive. It's going from RAM. And that's what you see. We're going to copy everything from RAM, and then that's it. There's no in between. So,
go fill up the car with gas, come back, your game still ain't over.
So what you see making it happen is GDDR6. It has nothing to do with the SSD at all. It's just the speed of GDDR6. That's what you see happening.
And
rollback netcode, and the fact that you have twice as much RAM as you had from previous generation. So,
that being said, and I want y'all to take all this with a grain of salt. Metroid Dread looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, it does.
So,
those trailers, though.
So what we're gonna do right now is actually take a look at one of those trailers. because you guys did not get a chance to see that. I did a video on that when it dropped. So we're gonna take a quick little look at that with everybody here, of course. Audio share because I won't forget to do that like I did last time. And let's go.
So you sound so insensitive.
Why do I hear boss music?
Yo, that look though. that look he gave her though. You must.
It's almost as if she ate the last slice of pizza and didn't tell nobody. Sure, you can.
Just this moment right here.
Syntax error. My credit card is available, but Nintendo isn't taking it. I don't understand what's happening.
Okay, so Shadow, and I have to ask you this because you know, we have the same ideas when it comes to, you know, the whole wrestling moves. So is this the point where she kicks him in the chest and does a pedigree?
I think so. I think the pedigree happens along with the even flow DDT as well. I think that's what happens. Combination.
And then Joseph does the Eddie Guerrero 5-star frog splash.
I think so. From the top rope. Clearly.
So, okay, so people, the reason why I want to show that trailer is because I think we're getting a lot of red herrings in this trailer. I don't think that Chozo, by the way, hashtag Chozo for Smash. I don't think that Chozo is a villain per se. I really don't think that's gonna happen.
I think Samus is the villain in that situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think. And another thing too is, and Sandstorm, you know about this, the whole spoiler situation. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm one of those guys. I've heard people say that the Avengers Endgame trailer spoiled the whole movie. That movie was 3 hours and 5 minutes, and half of that trailer of a 2 minute and a half trailer was stuff from the old movies, and people were saying they spoiled the whole movie. It's the same situation. This is not spoiling the whole game, unless that game is 5 hours long.
And you know the thing is, the thing is with that is that, like I said it before, like Metroid has never been a surface explanatory game. Like you can't you can drop a Call of Duty and show off a couple things and be like, well, there's that's the game. But you can't watch a Metroid, especially not no next Metroid 5 Metroid, and show all these screenshots and be like, okay, yeah, I got it. I know everything that's going on in here. Like I can summon the whole game up without even playing it. It don't work like that.
Yeah, you
that
miss
lore
a lot of context if you attempt it.
That lore is just way too deep. That's right along Zelda as like one of the deepest lores, especially in Nintendo's catalog. Like those are the games that you really have to really play and find all the secret stuff to really understand like what is actually going on here. And Nintendo already knows that. Like that's why they gave you that, so you could be like, oh, I know the whole game, and then you got a Shadow Fox coming like, did you actually play the game though?
Facts.
Now, the other thing too that I like the design of how they designed the Chozo, because he's actually wearing his suit. Once again, and Andre, you know this as well as I do. A lot of this stuff in the game, one of the reasons why the Federation don't really like Samus like that, because she won't tell them how. She won't tell them what the Chozo are. It's implied that she knows, and two, she won't let them know how to make that suit. It's the same situation with like Tony Stark in the whole Iron Man suit.
Yep.
He won't let the government get his tech. She won't let them, like, she'll let them like fix it and make little minor tweaks to it, but she won't let them have it.
If she does, they will kill all the Chozo and it will kill all the remaining Metroids, and that's it.
And that's it. And we already know after you played what I think it was Fusion, what the Metroids really were there for, what they were created for. And this is gonna be interesting, because I'm actually going back and looking at some stuff. I'm actually starting to think maybe she is the last Metroid because she got infused with that DNA.
Yeah.
Do we dare say she pregnant? Do we say that? Do we do the Alien 3?
I was just about to say that.
That's their motivation anyway.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna carry it that far though.
No, I don't think they're gonna carry it that far, because the thing is, she's so hybrid to the point now where it's ridiculous. Because remember, she got a blood transfusion when she was a kid because she damn near got killed. So she has Chozo DNA in her anyway, so she's not normal. And then on top of that, she had to get that Metroid DNA in her to save her life from the whole, the
X parasite.
So
everybody here's played Super Metroid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the demo, when you're not playing a game and you're not playing a game for a real long time, has anybody been able to do that move that she does, where she literally creates a boba and she's butt naked inside the boba? Has anybody been able to do that?
No,
I have never been able to do it.
So that's there for a reason. I think that has something to do with the whole Chozo blood thing, but
yeah. So
because I think this is supposed to be like a thing that makes her armor blow up or something like that.
Yeah. It's supposed to, but I've never seen.
I've never seen
anybody do it, and I've never done it. I've just heard about it. The other thing too is the return of everybody's favorite nightmare, Kraid. Full with scars that you could tell that this ain't no clone. Like,
that's original.
She don't seem phased though.
It was funny because she's like, "Oh, so you gonna open your mouth? So you want me to shoot you in the mouth? You really want to smoke? Okay, yeah, keep. Okay, You chained to a wall and you think I won't kill you? I love Samus. She's so bloodthirsty. Like, she's just looking at him like, "Oh, you think I'm not about that life? You really think I'm not about that life?"
You don't remember what happened last time? Let me refresh you.
Yeah, let me refresh your memory, because apparently you don't remember how you got them scars in your stomach.
But they rebuilt me this time. I promise. I'm better.
Okay.
It didn't work with Ridley. It ain't working with him.
It's a very good trailer. I had to give them, and I'm not gonna lie, I already made that last image my wallpaper for my computer with the Chozo standing behind her. That's already my wallpaper. So yeah, I'd made some screens and I made some wallpaper. So yeah, that's just facts for me right now. But I am really looking forward to that game, and it's looking like it's looking like it's going to be my game of the year so far. That's what it's looking like.
I can see it getting a lot of nominations.
Can I say one thing? Just kind of my thoughts. That part that we see with her against the guy, that's at the beginning of the game, I believe. And if he's just that moment where he's about to shoot and we ain't never seen Samus in I gotta close my eyes because I'm about to be blown away moment. That moment where she like opens up her eyes. I said this to the fellas before, so I'm saying it to everybody else. I kind of feel like he's giving her the whole the whole King of Namekian power boost.
Yeah.
Woo! Like, she got the turn up like real quick. But like Jay said, and I know you guys didn't catch this either, is that it doesn't look like at the beginning his intent is really to kill more so than it is to like disarm. And I can really see that because like nothing's really phasing him. Like if he really wanted to down her at that point, he could have. He really could have. I mean, unless he's really that cocky, unless he's like a Vegeta or something. But he don't. It just how serious he looks in the first place doesn't seem like he comes off like that kind of like Chozo. It looks like if it was necessary, he blowing up planets too. So
that's the one thing, because one of the things about the Metroid lore is they all want to be able to make that suit so they can do the power bomb, which is the most devastating weapon in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
So the Space Pirates have tried to do it, but they can't do the morph. They can do the suit, but they can't do the morph ball thing, because everybody tried to do it with it. They even said it like, we've had less than stellar results. In other words, they killed them.
Everybody died.
Everybody died when they tried to do the morph ball. And once again, the Federation wants it because we know why.
Right.
War sells. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, yeah, if he wanted her gone, he's better than she is.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. That's why Sakurai, please put him in Smash. So it's a very interesting concept. And yes, I know he's probably not gonna be in Smash. These are just jokes.
The
next Smash, I don't know. I would for him to be in there. I'm gonna say that just because I'm like, it's the last character. It would be nice if that was the case.
That would be dope.
It would be dope if that was the case, but I can't see it.
Metroid Dread drops, and like on the same day you get or a day after, you get the Chozo. Whoa.
That would be, and if Sakurai is able to pull that one off,
he gonna be like, and I'm out. I'll see y'all later.
Drop the mic, and I'm never touching Smash again. And drop the mic. I'm like, okay, yeah. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments about that Metroid Dread trailer, because that I gotta give it to him. Outside of the Metroid Prime, the first Metroid Prime trailer, and that Corruption trailer where they pretty much showed her facing off against Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
This is right up there with them for me as far as that is concerned. So, hey Vicky.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Doing all right.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
So we were just talking about Metroid. You have any thoughts?
The Metroid Dread, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fun. I mean, what ifs.
You have to support because she's a girl, and she getting down.
But she's not a black woman, so do I have to?
In this sense, yes.
Yeah, you do.
This is a particular rare occasion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a support because it's a Metroid game, and if we don't put money into it, then they won't bring it for us.
No.
But that's not because she's a woman, because I would support if she was a black woman. I mean, is she Asian? What is she just,
she's not.
She's more alien than human at this point.
Yeah, at this point, she's more alien than human. Yeah. At this point, she really is more alien than human.
Let me ask you this: would you support Gamora?
That's Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, but Zoe Saldana. So I was Zoe Saldana comforting.
I didn't say Zoe. I didn't say Zoe. I said Gamora though.
But that's Zoe
I don't
Saldana.
know. She, like.
Okay. Can we say that you would support because the person that she was closest to in Other M was the black dude?
No, she's gonna be like, absolutely not. No. The black
but
man,
he was the one that gave her the most tips.
All the black men, they taking all the black men. Absolutely.
I wasn't. Look, I didn't mean it in that sense. Turn that conversation into something wholly different. I set myself up for that. I set myself up for that.
Better it came from me than it came from her.
I don't know. still like, yeah. I don't know if I would necessarily support Gamora just because she's a female. Now, if that's my only options, there's not, it's like with any video game as we were growing up. First option is any black person. If there's nobody, then for me as a female, it would be the female character who had dark hair.
Okay.
And if that was not an option, then any female character would do. Now,
it has never been that deep with me.
Never. Like if the character, if the game was good, the game was good.
Because
Yes, it does. But it shouldn't be the only reason.
No, because like growing up, like my mom always made sure that I had black Barbie dolls, and even then, I still wasn't she wasn't a big Barbie fan anyway. But there
was a lot of off brands.
Yeah, so it was like she still wanted to make sure that it was somebody who looked more like me than anything, and plus they're still to this day they're still hard to find. If working in retail, you open a box, and in that box of Barbies, of 20, there might be 2 black Barbies.
I feel you.
They're still shipping them out like that. And, just working in retail, the parents would come up to me. She was like, is there any black? She was like, I will take, Latin of any sort. I will take anything. And I was like, I'm sorry, they only sent 2 in the box. And I'm like literally opening the box, setting it up for her. And she's like, okay. And she walked away. So it's like,
I feel you. I always picked not Axel, Skate. Was that who it is? And Streets of Rage 2 for that reason too. Yeah, I gotta pick the brother.
I'm not gonna lie. I never really thought about it till I got older. Because like Andre said, I'm so wrapped up in the story that if I'm hooked into the story, I'm just hooked into the story. Mm-hmm. So I didn't think about it till I was older. I'm not even gonna front. So I never really thought about it. Now I do because once again, representation does matter, and I don't think people understand how much it does matter. Mm-hmm. But it really does matter. But you know what, Vicky? I'm glad you're here. Did you see the Midnight Suns trailer? I did not.
Can you check?
We're finna do that right now. We're finna take a look at that right now.
I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't. I didn't really have time to look for it, and I needed to take a nap.
Ooh, I tell you what, and it's coming to Switch. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So now here's the thing, and we'll talk about it after we watch it.
Okay.
First, they conquered humanity's greatest evil, and she lay in rest. Then they vanquished threats from beyond our stars, and she lay in rest.
If you'd be so kind. Omno sanctum legita. Omno sanctum
Now our nightmares have come for us, and she must awaken.
Okay, Blade.
Yep, Blade's in it.
Close to the version of Blade that I prefer.
Ghost Rider all day.
Mother.
Man, they put Cap in the back.
I like that.
Yeah,
like
you ain't
that.
gotta focus on that white man. Put him in the back. Oh, they spelled it with the U? Not an O, it's a U.
I think so.
Yeah, but it was an O in the comics, though.
Hey!
Yeah,
wait
they
to rest my
did a
bonnet.
rename. Like I want to say like 10 years ago when they brought it back. When they brought it back, they did it. I want to say about 10 years ago when they brought it back for a limited run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was the Midnight Suns trailer. It's coming to everything. My only problem with this is it's the same people that do XCOM. I am not the biggest fan of their gameplay. So we're supposed to be getting a gameplay vid September 1st, which I think is Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be taking a look at that. I'll probably do a reaction for that one when it comes out. But I did read that they are gonna have legacy characters. So like Johnny Blaze is supposed to be one of the characters that's gonna show up. The Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider and some of the others. So I like that.
Johnny Blaze,
Yeah,
Danny Quest all day.
I like the idea because Lilith is one of them characters in the Marvel comics that she the truth. You don't want that smoke.
I think really this you know who's got the dopest outfit right now is that it's got to be Ghost Rider. Like that. At first I was like, man, did they set Joker on fire? What's going on? Like my man's got the whole mask and everything, but I actually like it. I like a more because he's always been depicted as like a little bit bulky. You know what I mean? I like this little a slender look to him. Like hopefully this Ghost Rider is like more agile than the normal Ghost Rider.
Well, here's my only other thing, and I wanted to ask you this, Vicky, because I didn't read a lot of the Midnight Sun stuff back in the 90s when I started reading comics. Captain America and Iron Man and Captain Marvel were not a part of the Midnight Sun.
No, they weren't.
Okay,
I'm
like, I know
No,
well.
that's why I was confused when I was like,
yeah.
They just threw them in there. They were not a part of that group.
Yeah, that's
that woman Harpo. Like that's how I was thinking.
That's for popularity.
Yeah, I know what they're doing, but like, is it going to be cross-platform?
I hope so. They didn't say yet. I'm guessing we're gonna find out on Wednesday.
Is it going? Are all the characters going to be available to play?
From what I read, yes.
Okay. So when we play, I get Ghost Rider no matter what.
Oh, I don't know about. We may never play.
I mean, look, there's going to be two versions of him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Johnny Blaze and Robbie Reyes. So as long as I can play as Blade or Wolverine, I'm good.
I don't care. Yeah, listen.
I can play as Blade or Wolverine, I'm good.
Ghost Rider. That's all.
Oh man, y'all taking all the good ones.
No, I'm just saying.
It's your fault. Why did you call dibs first? You understand how you gotta move quicker. I called dibs first. Everybody see it live. There.
I can play Blade or Wolverine. I don't have to play. I'm not beholden to those. But I'm just saying, it's one of those situations, and they are so putting like the '90s Blade in there with the leather jacket and the red shirt and all that. So all right, cool. I'm like, cool. So I like the trailer. I like what I was seeing, and I like that they're kind of pulling a story that may have been in the comics because I know the comic character of Lilith. But the question is, are they going to bring in Satana and Elsa Bloodstone and the rest of the people that I know dance on that side of the supernatural side of Marvel that I know
comes in as a DLC?
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to probably wind up doing. But for a first trailer, I thought it was actually got the point across.
So we don't know exactly like the style of gameplay this is going to be, right? Okay.
Not yet. That's Wednesday.
Please reserve your all thoughts until you see the gameplay because trailer straight up lie.
Yeah. And I mean, it could go along the ways of what is it? The Avengers.
And I'm struggling through that right now.
But I mean, I don't know if I even want one that's like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, I love that game. But I don't know.
It'll probably be best served if they have if they take more of a I would hope they take more of an action RPG / adventure style route. Because you need to be able to level your characters up.
Right.
But once again, I'm not the hugest fan of that XCOM style gameplay. So I'm really interested in seeing if they change it up. Because Firaxis, that's what they're known for. So I hope they do, because the way they have gameplay is not going to work well with a character like Blade or Wolverine or Ghost Rider. It'll work well,
especially if you gotta have an in-depth combo system. That's just not gonna work for them.
And now it works good for characters like Stephen Strange and Magic, but not for them, in my opinion. So, but yeah, it got me intrigued. I'm not gonna lie, it did get me intrigued.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I just need to see what they talking about September 1st, and if they talking right, hey, might have to add that to the list.
I definitely need like a fun game like that in my rotation, because I definitely don't. Everything's like epic stories and stuff that I got going on, that I have queued up that I'm not playing. I don't have time because I got to work these jobs to pay for the stuff that I want to play. But I
did not have the time to play it.
I have time off. All I want to do is sleep. So
shout out to 2K for dropping this on the Switch as well, because we know how that story usually pans out.
So Andre, because we have played our fair share of side-scrolling beat 'em ups, which is what we're about to get into. Refresh my memory. There was never a Midnight Suns game in the 90s, was there?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, because I was like,
never one specifically, because I would remember that.
Yeah, because I remember the Punisher game with Nick Fury in it.
Yeah,
I remember the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse and Blood Ties. I remember the Avengers game. I remember Maximum Carnage Paint the Town Red. But I don't remember anything with the Midnight Suns in it at all.
Nah.
So I think Ghost Rider was in Maximum Carnage.
He was an assist in the Maximum Carnage. Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. He was in both of those.
Yeah. So, all right, people. So now's the time for the title of this episode. Beat 'em ups. because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, got pushed back to 2022.
So disappointing.
Look, I'm fine with it. Because I have a feeling they're gonna stick my boy Casey Jones in there.
Ooh, if they get Casey.
Hopefully they stick Splinter in there, but that's neither here nor
No,
there.
if they put Splinter and Casey Jones in, it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I got the idea for this one because there was a lot of good side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Most of them belong to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But
You know what I just thought about? I didn't even think about it, but the black kid from the cartoon series that accidentally got splashed with the super mutagen, they could put him in there too. I just can't remember his name.
You talking about from the 80s version or the 2003? I can't.
No, the 90s version of the show, when they got the super mutagen and they started doing the super mutant stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember his name though, but he wore the red Thriller jacket basically.
Yeah, he basically looked like we're not gonna get into that. They'll have to do a redesign. But let's just say the 90s wasn't the best. The early 90s wasn't the best in fashion.
No, it wasn't.
It was about being yourself.
And shiny gloves. Actually, because one of my favorite, my two favorite TMNT games was the arcade game, and I think y'all know the other one, Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time was the dopest.
Now, Turtles in Time on SNES, I pretty much enjoyed more than I did arcade. I don't know why, I just did.
Is that the one with Super Shredder? Which one's the one with Super Shredder?
That was Super Shredder.
That's
I never beat that game.
Really?
Me and my one of my best friends in college, he brought her Super Nintendo. And we would legit sit there in the room playing that game. And the first couple rounds, obviously we would lose quick, and then we would always, from then on, we would always make it to Super Shredder, but we never beat him. We just never just beat him. So I don't know. I gotta actually call her up and be like, yo, what's good? We gonna try that? We gonna run that again?
You gotta run that back.
We gotta run that back.
Well, I will say this: like the only 2 times I beat Super Shredder was when I had full 4 people. That's the only time. I ever beat
that's not one you can do by yourself.
Yeah, that's the only time. That's just being honest. That's the only time I ever beat them. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because there's some people who sit there and lie and be like, "No, man, I beat him on first try, with no problems."
By myself. No, by myself. No help.
No, like
that might have been it.
Yeah, like a lot of those people that like love to say that they beat Contra by themselves.
No, you didn't. That's a lie. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's a lie.
Yeah, I didn't even use 100-man code.
I don't even know what that is. That's a lie. Come on.
Yeah, like everybody knows that one. So the other one too. Now, they've had, because it's kind of got a little bit of a resurgence since the indies have become more and more of a forefront. Because there's one out now that I'm playing on the Switch, Mayhem Brawler. That one's actually not bad. It caught my interest just because I'm a comic book head and it has like a comic book feel to it. But it's actually not bad. And then you got Streets of Rage 4, still no skate, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Right, I'm waiting. That's it. That's what I'm waiting for.
Dude,
why?
Yeah, you got fake Luke Cage in there, aka Adam Hunter. Would just put skate in there, just put him in there. But yeah, that one. There's one of my personal favorites, Wolverblade. I don't know if any of y'all played it, but it's one of my personal favorite brawler / beat 'em up type
That's
games.
one they showed off earlier in the Switch Life, didn't they?
It came out 2018.
Yeah.
It's an indie game, but it's actually pretty good. I like it because I'm a history nerd. So it talks about like the Roman occupation of Ireland, and I like it. It has a lot of stuff to unlock that gives you little history puffs of stuff, places where they went and filmed and shot different photography for, all that other good stuff. But yeah, those are some of my favorites that I like. But I would love to see like somebody. I know Konami had the license to all of those Ninja Turtles and X-Men brawlers back in the day. I would love for somebody to like bring those to somebody's store. Somebody, because I know they had a Turtles in Time remake, but that disappeared.
Right.
It was on arcade Xbox Live.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was on the Xbox store.
And that thing disappeared. I don't know why. I guess they lost the license. I guess the license got terminated. I don't know. But to be honest, it wasn't as good as the SNES version. But I would love to see that one come back. I would love to see some of the other ones come back, just because I loved those TMNT games, and I think they could actually work now, especially since the beat 'em up genres back in full effect.
Right.
Personally. So, y'all got any favorites?
I do. I got. Well, I won't say their favorites, just memories. Before I say that, because he's gonna bug me every single time I do a video. And you guys did fighters last time. I'm gonna say shout outs to Bloody Roar. You know, because that should still be a thing. Bloody Roar should still be one of the fighters that's still around. But anyway, talking about beat 'em ups. Man, growing up, there was like Double Dragon. I think that's a real popular one. I can't stand it either. I've tried to go back, and like just the platforming system is all the way off.
They tried to do too much with it.
Yeah. First of all, they made this misogynist. No, I'm playing. I'm joking.
Don't start that riot up.
Yeah, bro, you cannot do that in the game now. You cannot walk up to some woman, just punch her in the stomach, and walk off with her.
Wow.
I'm talking about wow, really, bro?
Give her the whole deal. Stick her right in between your legs.
Double Dragon Neon was the last game that was done with.
Yeah,
throw her right in between your legs with that suit.
And I'm surprised they did it, because I'm like, you really can't do that nowadays.
And she had the whip. Take the whip for her and beat her with the whip. Come on now, you can't do that. Come on now, it's not that kind of party.
Well, you know, people might actually like that.
Right,
But, yeah.
Bad. No.
But yeah, so yeah, Double Dragon, Masaji's game.
There was Toxic Crusaders. I remember that.
I used to have that.
Yeah, that was my jam back in the day. I feel like, you know, when you younger, you just better at playing games. Like I go back and play those games now, and I suck. I really
It's
do
all
suck.
reflexes.
Yeah.
It's all reflexes.
Yeah.
I just looked at the chat. I'm done.
Is it Vicky? I'm sure it is. I'll bet you it is.
Me? No, it couldn't be.
At least Miss K was talking about the Forza controller, so yeah.
Okay. But as of recent, Streets of Rage has really been the game. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's my game right there. I'm glad they actually brought that one back.
Yeah.
I really love that game.
They definitely did a good job bringing that back.
Yeah, that's probably among one of my favorites. I don't know if I really got like a straight out like this is the one, like way better than everybody. Because
you said Streets of Rage 4?
Well, not included, but yeah, you know. and my Streets of Rage numbers I include 4. So yeah.
He gets points taken down because no skate.
No skate. That's what I was telling them. There ain't no skate in there.
But everybody else on there, like it's so good.
Man, you got a fake Luke Cage and no skate. No.
No skate. I want my man's rollerblading on people's faces. Like that should have been a thing.
It should have been.
Streets of Rage 3 Blades breaks the game, and it's wonderful. It's great. Okay.
And she breaks 4.
Yes.
They just kept it going. All right.
So that's it for me.
All right. So Andre, I know you have an extended list.
Sheesh, where should I start?
Let's just go superhero genre. Let's just go superhero genre and just go.
Superhero. Okay. Captain America and the Avengers, X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Battletoads.
The good one.
Yeah, the good one, not the new one.
There's multiple Battletoads. No, not the new one. No, not that.
You got it. You got to make sure you take that one out there.
That game is wholeheartedly. You can treat it like it don't exist. Every Ninja Turtles game, as far as the beat 'em up goes, even the ones that didn't make it to the arcade, they were all pretty good.
Yeah.
Restricting me to superheroes is going to be bad. Because there's a couple that started off as regular people that transitioned into superheroes. So I could technically say Peacekeepers, which started out as Rival Turf, which became Brawl Brothers.
Yeah.
Shit. And yeah, Toxic Crusaders was really good, especially on the Genesis. That was a lot of fun to play back then. Crap. Yeah, like there's too many. I could think of a bunch of them.
Like that was a golden thing in the 90s though.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't a fighter, like playing a beat 'em up just with your peeps, and before online really like that was the way to really enjoy games with your friends as a co-op. Like
if you wanted something that was going to be a minute that you could play, everybody could chill out with snacks and drinks and stuff, that you would definitely either go on the fighting game route or the beat 'em up route.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use your friend as a human shield. I mean, help,
that's straight up what some people would do.
That's Contra right there.
The accidental hits. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to punch. Oh man, I didn't mean to drop you like that.
I didn't mean to drop your extra life. I was trying to let you get that chicken. I didn't mean
Stop
to
getting the spread. Stop getting the spread. The spread was mine. You got me with a stupid laser. Stop getting the spread.
Hold A, press start. I'm still in your extra minute.
That calls fights. That's fights right there. Still my last life, and you didn't die 20 minutes ago. Nah.
I'm gonna help you.
What caused fights?
Pop up on the screen only lasts 5 seconds.
What caused fights when somebody took the spread and gave you that sorry behind laser?
That laser in Contra, especially in Contra 3, that laser was horrible.
You would just have the regular. You'd be like, no, I'll skip
Like
that.
I prefer the regular gun over the daggone laser.
Yeah, nah. You see the laser flow and you try to run past it.
The laser was only
Push
good
me
on
into
enemies.
it.
The laser was only good on enemies that sat still. Like if it was
and
anything that
nobody
was moving
damn near
around,
sat
you were
still.
not using it.
Yeah, nobody damn near sat still. So that was pointless.
So like you either wanted the spread, the homing, or the flame.
Yeah.
Actually, Contra wouldn't have been a bad idea to make a beat 'em up for Contra. I don't know why they never attempted that.
Especially since they were supposed to be both based off of
They did
Rambo
Alien.
and-
I'm just thinking
yeah.
they did Aliens versus Predator as a beat 'em up. So why wasn't Contra thought about?
Well, at the time, Konami was making money off X-Men and Ninja Turtles. They didn't care about
But
nothing else.
Konami did Alien versus Predator. They were the ones that put that out.
Yeah. Well,
So it was like
that
y'all didn't think we could add this concept to our own game and make another game and make more money. I'm like,
look, man, you gotta give Konami some slack. They want to make pachinko machines.
Right. Right.
So yeah, you gotta give them some slack. Vicky, anything you like in the beat 'em up genre?
I mean, you guys listed practically like everything. I'm just trying to remember like the ones I used to play with my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Bad Dudes. That game.
oh
was
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
Did you play the sequel to that, Two Crude Dudes?
No.
Yeah, it's just like Bad Dudes, but cranked up to 20.
can we just take a small moment in time to just understand how 80s Reagan era Bad Dudes was? That was an 80s
man.
Reagan era game if there ever was one.
Yeah. But obviously, the Turtles too. Like there's so many of them that are just so much fun that I enjoyed. Like I had, my older brother's only a year older than me, like literally a year and a couple days. Like that's it. So we played a lot of our games together. My favorite, Golden Axe.
I was just about to say that. I
So
was
yeah,
waiting
Golden
for you.
Axe was a great one.
Golden Axe.
Yes, I was the Sega girl in the family. My brothers had Nintendo and I had all the Sega games, Sega systems. So, to stop us from fighting, our parents just bought both systems. I'm like, we were poor, but my parents were like, it's more cost effective for us just to buy them the damn system.
They was paying for peace of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure our grandparents probably helped with the cost because, whatever, but whatever, it was worth it for them. So I had the Sega. So me and my Golden Axe, what?
Did y'all argue over the who gets all the magic bottles? Stop beating the dwarf. I want the magic bottle.
Yeah. And I grew up, my parents would always take us bowling and roller skating. So like with roller skating, we had to do at least an hour. With bowling, we had to bowl like one full game. And after that, we were allowed to get our roll of quarters and to run off to the arcade. And my parents would continue bowling or skating or whatever. And they knew we were in the building, even though technically we could have easily been snatched, but whatever. And they just let us, and we would just be in the arcade spending up all our quarters. And we would obviously play these beat 'em up games because they were amazing. And it often was like 4 players or at least 2 players, so we all could play together.
Shit, that's where you got your money's worth, was playing beat 'em ups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because them fighter games the fighting ones could end very quickly.
They were designed like that, to let you only win on the first one. After that,
quarter munchers.
Yeah,
for the first 1 or 2, and after that second one, nah, bro.
Yep, that's it. You done lost. You can't beat a computer.
Nah, give us your quarters. We get the in here.
No, the game only got easier once you gave it enough quarters. It was like, okay, you passed the checkpoint.
Right.
Now that you've paid $6, now you can continue on.
Right.
So how much is he up to? 10? Yeah, okay, cool. He's up to $10. We can let him win one more round.
Don't let him move.
Yeah.
Stay in the corner.
Just stay in the corner and mess them up. But yeah, all right. So Shadow,
Yes, sir.
beat 'em ups. Your favorite?
That's a long laundry list. I can do deep cuts like Narc, DJ Boy back in the day.
I still have that.
DJ Boy was a good one from Data East. I can go. I mean, the 6-man X-Men multiplayer, not the 4-man. The 6-player stand-up joint, because you got to play with every single X-Man. You got to have all 6 of them on there, crowding the screen, and it's mad slow down. That's the only way to do it.
Because you're not beating Magneto unless you do.
Exactly.
You're not
Exactly. Original TMNT, which was TME2 on NES for y'all people that don't understand anything that wasn't on the console, and TMNT4, which was Turtles in Time, which was the second arcade game for those that don't understand anything that wasn't on the console. I mean, those are the classics, obviously. As far as superhero games, though, like, and it's still technically a beat 'em up. And I'm always a fanboy when it comes to this, because I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima currently right now. But Infamous, that's technically a superhero game, and it's a beat 'em up. So it's just open world, and you get all these special little powers and all the other kind of stuff. But as far as a current generation console game, that's the closest you're gonna get, other than the remakes of everything. Like Streets of Rage 4 was my game of the year last year. I've already sang its praises, so y'all know how wonderful and great that game is. I'm getting called out because the Falcons game just started. But that and Battletoads Battle Maniacs, y'all try that on Super Nintendo as well.
That is a difficult game to beat.
It's difficult, but it's so good. So good.
There's one game that I forgot to mention. There's one game I forgot to mention, and that's X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Where you had to fight Apocalypse. And it was not fair. But I got Gambit.
No, that was not a fair fight in that game.
But does the Simpson game count too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Simpson
game was great.
Bartman. Always Bartman. But yeah, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, just because the fight with Magneto, the fight with Apocalypse, and the fight where you have to go to Genosha with Psylocke. Those 3 levels make that game hands down one of my favorites. I got to play with Gambit.
It's crazy, Shadow. You said Narc. I got a funny story to that, because I got that when I think I was maybe 5 or 6. And my parents were both police officers. And I lived with my mom. And she's like, kind of like a simulation of, this is kind of somewhat the extreme of how it's going to be if you were a police officer. But know that you are doing the right thing, and that you actually there is a sensation of feeling that you're doing justice. And I remember playing that game and just pop, 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 pop. And then I learned, okay, wait a minute. I get more points if I just arrest you.
Yes, so if you bust them, you get points.
Let me just sit around here and arrest you. But I'm taking needles to the face. That's okay though. But I'm gonna go ahead and arrest you. But then when I got older, I was like, yo, I don't ever want to go through all that. Like, that's just I ain't narking on nobody. I ain't gonna be no police officer. I ain't narking on nobody. I'm gonna just stick to my corner of the city and just do me. That's it. She was like, and she asked me actually last week. She was like, do you still have that game? Do you still play that game? And I'm like, I still have it, but like that's not motivation like how you thought it was motivation.
Speaking of quarter munchers, that game was horrible. Ooh, especially the end boss. It was all it did was just like you die quarter. It's ridiculous. That was a bad game.
All your allowance gone.
Yeah, you could easily spend $20 on that game. Easily.
And then you messed around and played the Punisher and Nick Fury game.
Yes,
it all went downhill from there.
Honorable mention. I don't know if it was mentioned before. Adventures of Bayou Billy. That's a really.
I completely forgot. About that.
That's a really good beat 'em up.
Because that was supposed to be Crocodile Dundee, but they didn't get the license.
Yeah, yeah. So they had to change it.
That was a pretty good card.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, I just have to say, Bad Dudes needs a remake so I can actually have more than 2 buttons. And we have to go back and we have to say President Ronnie.
Okay. First thing, though, they cannot do the remake the same way that the Double Dragon remakes were done.
Yeah.
No,
No.
because we got 8 buttons. We got more than 8 buttons, and I'm hold on. Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You got at least
we
10.
got more than enough buttons. We got more than enough buttons to actually give me a block button. So yeah, more than enough. We have more than enough. So and
They
please
could,
don't
they
make
could
them look
remaster both of those games as a dual compilation and put it out.
and please don't make them look like bouncers. They are not beating ninjas as bouncers. I'm sorry. This is not.
But it was the 80s. That's what made it fun.
It was American Ninja, I know, but still, I get it. Worst movie of all time, but a classic. The first one, not the rest of them. I'm just talking about the first one. First American Ninja. I'm not talking about 2 through 5.
I was gonna say.
Well, the second one had the best ending, but the first one was the best out of all them bad movies. They were all bad movies. I'm just saying. You know what? Never mind. Me and Mrs. D take care of that at another time. But y'all just need to know that the 80s was weird.
But cool.
Mm-hmm.
Depending.
That's where you got
depending.
That's where you got a lot of the different styles of games, different types of games, far out there.
And Miami Vice.
I'm still waiting on what's my game? Power Up.
Oh, you talking about Altered Beast?
Altered Beast.
Yeah.
Please.
Rise from your grave.
Well, the only problem I think is gonna have with that is remember when they did that Golden Axe remake back in 2005 or 6?
Yeah, the bad one. Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think if that would have been received better, I think we probably would have got an Altered Beast. But I just don't know.
The Shinobi reboot was good, but they never went back to it. I don't understand that one either.
It didn't make money.
It didn't make money.
Yeah,
and the problem was they put it on PS2.
Yeah, instead of because at the time I think that was right at the end of PS2, and I'm like, that's not the right move. To
No,
make.
it wasn't at the end of the PS2. It was more toward the middle.
Which one?
Because I got both of them. I got Shinobi and Nightshade. They were in the middle of it.
What game am I thinking about? Am I thinking about Musashi? I'm thinking about Musashi.
Musashi.
Okay. Yeah.
Musashi was end of PS1.
No, they did another one. They did hella slow. It was Square. That was the first time Square Enix actually messed up actual remake, and then that was the one that led to the mess ups of all the remakes that Square Enix has done. So yeah, more to come on that next week, people. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. We've hit over an hour, so I hope you guys enjoyed Genre Love Part 2. If nothing crazy happens next week, we'll probably do another one. I just don't know which one we're gonna do it on. I have no idea. Might do RPGs, might do shooters, might even do racers because
I was gonna say racers sound like a good one.
Might do because Cruising Blast is coming.
Oh yeah,
Cruising Blast is great.
Yeah, so we might have to do racers next week.
I got a list for that. I got a list.
We'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out later. So Shadow, anything you want to pimp out?
No, channel's dead, I think. So if you subscribe, you may see a video, you may not. It is what it is. Do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? Also, watch Twitter where people melt.
I was gonna say the channel, the videos is on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
Going back and forth with he who must not be named. That's where where the video is.
Death and destruction.
Basically. All right, Vicky, anything you want to pimp out?
Oh wait, real quick, did you guys talk about Myst?
No, we did not.
No.
That's why you have me here. How did you not talk about the Myst remake?
Riven, well, that was my game of that series, but
all right, anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I loved Myst so much. I even back here, I think it's still on the shelf back here. I have like the OG original Myst. I had to download all kinds of different things to my computer to be able to play it. But you know,
can I be honest with you?
Patrick,
when I was younger, and I still got that game to this day, but I remember every single time I jumped in the Myst, I'd be like, okay, I'm ready. This time I'm ready. I'm actually going to go through and beat this. And every single time I saw the Myst around and it be all foggy, I'm like, this game's too scary for me. I can't do this. I cannot do this. But there was never any bad guys. There was never any bad guys. But just that feeling that there could be just had me like,
That's
when
what
I'm older.
that's what point and click adventure games were back then. It was always the suspense and never the action. So like I'm a big fan of all of those. Like I played the Journeyman project of all those games. Buried in Time was a sequel and all those. Like you hear all this scary music and stuff, and you go around the corner, you think something's gonna happen, and nothing ever happens. Really. It's just a mood setting. That's all it is.
Exactly.
But they're good.
They're good, and I look forward to the remake. As per my brother, who, tried to play the missed games, because we would pick different games to play all the time when we were kids, and he was like, I'm stuck. I can't get into this. He was like, so now I can be confused in 4K. I was like, yeah, exactly. So I'm just looking forward to that. That's just me personally. But in terms of things to pimp out, Monday, I am crocheting a fall guy. I recently did drunken fall guy.
I'm just glad that's what you said.
I just recently played Drunken Fall Guys with the BTC crew. So for the winner, they won a crochet fall guy from me.
Oh,
so
cool.
I will. We're trying to at least do some of the prep work tonight. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. That's about it.
All right, cool. Sandstorm.
Do I have anything coming? I'm not sure. That really depends on what the state of gaming is at this point in this week. I will be on with Andre Tuesday. Yes. He's got a video, so I'll be featured on that. But other than that, like I said, unless something real big comes up or somebody really struck a nerve where I feel like I actually have to do a whole video and rant about it, we don't have anything coming.
Oh, you mean like people saying that the Shadows and Oblivion are better than?
Oh my God!
Legends.
Don't do it! Don't do it! That turned into a whole day project. I'm like,
I'm so sorry. I'm sincerely sorry. That's my TL. I'm
I
sorry.
looked out. I was like, man, there ain't no way in the world you believe
why?
that.
Why?
Without mods, there's no way.
It got me.
Now y'all know I'm not lying. These people out here saying this foolishness. I don't create these people. I don't pay them. They're out here.
I blame you. I think because of all this talk, and I just like something on yours, it's just like, okay, he must like all this trolling. Let's just go ahead and put it in his feed too. You want to? Stupid people. Stupid people.
You wanted to smoke, man. All right, Andre, you got anything?
Nothing on my channel at the moment other than what Sandstorm had mentioned. That's going to be coming. And if you're curious, I do have TikTok where I do a bunch of meme stuff on there. If anybody's interested, it's doing pretty well at the moment. So trying to get some of that stuff out. But I do have other stuff coming. I have things recorded. I just have not put them together.
Okay, cool. All right, so check out tomorrow around 5:00. Me and Andre are going to be going live with a possible game idea. So check out tomorrow at 5. I've been playing No More Heroes 3 with the best sushi song of all times in there. So yeah, that song is actually going on the playlist.
Is the game good?
Dude, the sushi song is good. That you don't need to know about nothing. It's the sushi song, dude.
Just from what I've seen, I need to have this game like today.
Sushi song, dude. The sushi song. Just go for the sushi song. Trust me. You will.
I'm about to look it up right now.
So, but been playing No More Heroes 3. Me and Rob from Rule 2 Review will be doing our first impressions sometime next week on it. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, and don't forget, if you are watching What If on Disney Plus, me and Vicky are doing our reviews Sundays 10 a.m. So check out. We just did a review for episode 3 entitled "That Escalated Quickly."
That was really good. I thought Nick was the bad guy the whole time. Like Nick doing this super low key.
See, I thought it was Loki, but I was wrong. So, and therein lies that. But also planning to do a couple more movie reviews. My Netflix queue has gotten ridiculous, so I'm trying to get that worked out so I can get some reviews done. So be on the lookout for some more movie reviews and try to get some of those Let's Talks in as well. But other than that, that's just me. See you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.